What if I told you that when Jesus was nailed to the cross, it wasn't just the earth that trembled, but the heavens themselves paused? What if, in realms unseen by mortal eyes, above the blood-soaked soil of Golgotha, and beyond the cries of a mocking crowd, two of heaven's most powerful archangels were not only watching, but intervening? Michael, the celestial commander of war; Uriel, the burning light of God's wisdom; and the sun suspended between time and eternity. You've heard the story before, or at least you think you have, but you've never heard this part of the story hidden in the shadows, whispered through the veils of dimensions, where angels stand watch and demons tremble, because something happened that day, something no eye on earth saw, but the entire spirit realm could not ignore. So let me ask you, why did the sky turn black at high noon? Where did the soul of Christ descend after his final breath? And what exactly did Michael and Uriel do when the King of Glory was pierced and heaven went silent? Most only see Calvary from below a hill of execution, a broken man between thieves, a brutal Roman spectacle. But that's only the surface, the stage of flesh. Lift your eyes, look higher. Just beyond the veil of sight, a cosmic war was unfolding. At the 6th hour, the skies didn't just dim, they went black, not from clouds, not from eclipse, but from invasion. Because in the spiritual realm, something ancient and cataclysmic was awakening. Lucifer, the dragon of old, stood cloaked in shadow, watching with eyes full of deceit. He thought the prophecy was broken, the seed was bleeding, the lamb was dying. He believed he had won, but he wasn't alone. Michael hovered in the heavens, his blade of fire, etched with the names of the Almighty. His wings, galaxies woven in, flame trembled as he waited. Beside him stood Uriel, burning like the heart of a star, eyes white-hot with divine mystery. Not a whisper escaped them, but they were ready, because they knew this was the hour. Then it came, not with sound, not with fury, but with authority. A whisper from the cross: hold the line, guard what is mine. The dying king issued a divine command, and the heavens shuddered. No trumpet sounded, yet every demon scattered. No angel descended, yet every principality froze, because the Son of God, even in agony, still ruled as king. Michael gripped his sword, not to fight, but to defend a transfer, a holy exchange. For on that cross, Jesus wasn't just suffering, he was signing a contract in blood: sin for righteousness, death for life, bondage for freedom. And Michael stood guard, not over a people, over a person, the Redeemer. No demon would touch him, no spirit of accusation would alter what was unfolding. Michael became a wall between heaven's plan and hell's schemes. Uriel, he wasn't idle either. He illuminated the mystery unfolding. The light from his being pulsed through time-seeding revelation into generations to come. The gospel would be written. Nations would awaken. Prophets would cry out. All because Uriel released a wave of divine light the moment Jesus said it is finished. The temple veil didn't just tear, it collapsed, along with centuries of separation. And the guardians of the holiest were dismissed in defeat, but in reverence, because the Lamb had become the bridge. The King enters death's domain, the final breath had left his lungs. The crown of thorns rested blood-soaked on his brow. The crowd began to disperse, but beneath the surface of the earth, beneath the sandals of Romans, beneath the tears of Mary, beneath the mocking lips of men, a seismic event was unfolding. For the Lamb of God was descending, not in metaphor, not in dream, but in spirit, with the authority of heaven etched into every fiber of his divine essence. The descent begins. Darkness swallowed him, not just the darkness of death, but the dimensional Chas, known by the ancients as Sheol, a place neither fully alive nor fully condemned, a realm layered in mystery, feared, whispered about, never conquered. And Jesus, he entered it not as a victim, but as a king, wrapped in obedience, and with every step the shadows recoiled, because this was not the soul of a sinner. This was the Word, robed in sacrifice. This was eternal fire, walking in human scars. Uriel descended, glowing like a sun within the void. He brought scrolls of living light, written before time began, hidden since the foundation of the world. And now he opened them. Every prophecy from the old world, every shadow of the Messiah, every sacred riddle folded in the deepest darkness. The righteous dead, Abraham, Moses, David, Elijah, Sarah, Ruth, lifted their eyes. They saw him, no longer a distant promise, no longer a mystery. They saw the Lamb, and they stood. They were not just forgiven, they were freed. It was a holy jailbreak, no alarms, no swords, only the presence of the King of Kings, shattering eternal chains. And then Jesus stretched out his hand, and the keys appeared. The keys of Hades, the keys of death, the keys to every prison the enemy ever built in fear and sin. Lucifer watched, but said nothing. His authority was overruled, his dominion undone. His silence was his surrender. Michael stood as the divine enforcer, not to fight, but to confirm this transaction is lawful. Hell had no more claims, because the blood had spoken. Uriel began to reveal the final scrolls, not to the fallen, but to the faithful. Truths hidden in ages past now flooded the realm of the dead, and every soul who had longed for the Messiah saw him. The veil of time was torn. The final mystery was unveiled. Jesus did not sneak out of death. He didn't escape like a fugitive. He stormed it, legally, righteously, victoriously. He didn't plead, he proclaimed. He didn't beg for freedom, he declared ownership. And as he turned from the depths of Sheol, the captives followed, free, redeemed, awake. Michael followed, sword sheathed in holy fire. Uriel sealed the final scroll, and in heaven a roar echoed, not of mourning, but of victory, because it wasn't over, it was just beginning. The body of Jesus lay motionless on the cross, but his spirit was moving, not ascending, but descending. And he did not descend in defeat, he descended in authority. As the crowd slowly scattered from Golgotha, as the earth soaked in sacred blood and darkness swallowed the sky, another gate was opening, not in heaven, but in the deep. Sheol, the place of the dead, where shadows whisper, where hope and dread coexist in eerie silence. Asterisk, when he entered, all creation went still. The darkness recoiled, not from light, but from sovereignty. Jesus descended, carrying a divine weight, not his own guilt, but ours. He was the only one with wounds, but no sin, the only one who died, but did not belong to death. And then the underworld began to tremble. Ancient beings shackled in gloom, the fallen watchers, rebellious spirits, giants of Genesis, grew restless because they sensed a presence never before felt in the depths. The Creator had entered creation's grave. Just one word, no shout, no threat. Yet every gate responded. They could not resist, not because of brute force, but because righteousness had been fulfilled. Michael stepped behind him, not to strike, but to witness the enforcement of heaven's verdict. His sword didn't swing. It sealed the failure of hell, sealed the power of the new covenant. Uriel descended, glowing like a sun within the void. He brought scrolls of living light, written before time began, hidden since the foundation of the world. And now he opened them. Every prophecy from the old world, every shadow of the Messiah, every sacred riddle unfolded in the deepest darkness. Not just alive, transformed, his wounds still visible, but now weapons, his scars still fresh, but now crowns. He was no longer just the crucified, he was the risen King. This is where resurrection truly began, not at the mouth of the tomb, but in the heart of darkness, where the Lamb walked into the shadows and emerged as the roaring lion, from death to dominion, from shame to glory, from silence to the loudest declaration history has ever heard. He is not here. He has risen. Now that you know, you must understand something deeper. Resurrection doesn't wait for visible change. It begins in silence. It begins in surrender. It begins in the unseen, just like it did for him. It can begin in you, even while you're buried, even while the stone still rests, even while others have sealed your fate. He is already moving, already awakening, already writing your resurrection. So ask yourself again, what really happened beneath the cross? What shifted beneath the soil? What eternal power awakened in the shadows of Sheol? Because the tomb may have been quiet, but the spirit realm, it was roaring with resurrection. If this stirred something in you, share it. Let the world know resurrection didn't start with an open tomb. It started far below, when the King seized the keys and led captives into glory.